I went to the session on finance. I was speaking at that, climate finance. I also went because I wanted to listen in on the one on food systems and agriculture. We had a sort of a big planning meeting over lunch, and I've just come from the studio where I was talking about the work of the WCI. So it's been non-stop all the way. But that's the great thing about coming to IGF. You have these discussions, they get very exciting, and they lead on to other things, which is great. Look, it's a tough cop because this is the one where we have to do the stock take. It's the one where everybody has to confess that they haven't quite met their nationally determined contributions. They haven't fulfilled the promises, in effect, that they made about emissions reductions. And it looks at how far short we are of that threshold of 1.5 degrees. Now, the latest that's come out from the Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change, they've just produced their 6th synthesis report, and they're telling us that actually, if we go on as we are, it won't be 1.5, it won't be 2 degrees, it will be 3.2 degrees by the turn of the century. Now, that is totally unsustainable. That means huge shocks to all of our human systems, and I don't just mean our agricultural systems, our maritime systems, our freshwater systems, our air systems. What I'm talking about is our financial systems as well, our political systems. It's huge disruption. So we really do have to tackle this, and this is the first opportunity since Paris to actually do that. This is the COP at which we're all supposed to come and say, okay, we've done so much, but we need to do a great deal better. I think there will be an increased focus on what we can do with nature-based solutions and natural systems. In a sense, that happened a couple of years ago, the start of that. Last year we looked at loss and damage and how we actually create a fund for that. I think there'll be quite a bit of toing and froing, disagreement you might say, as to who should actually manage the fund for loss and damage, whether that should be the World Bank or not, because there's some countries don't have the same trust in the World Bank that the World Bank might like them to have. So I think that will be an issue. It will certainly be an issue about still not having managed to produce the 100 billion a year going into climate. I hope there'll be an increased focus on finance, but I also hope there'll be an increased focus on finance for adaptation and resilience.